I grew up in Kansas City, and Michael was in aviation then as well, and he got transferred to someplace in Kansas City in Missouri. And my assistant manager at the bank, I was a branch manager there, was dating a guy that worked with Michael, and they fixed us up on a date. And it was kind of history. We met that day, and we stayed up all evening talking on the phone, and we neither one saw anyone else after that. It just kind of clicked, didn't it?
Kind of clicked. A lot of struggles ahead of us. We had no idea when we were having that conversation on the phone that evening that what was before us, what was to come. But it was definitely life altering. I'll say that. I wasn't a believer when I met her, and I drank quite a bit. Yeah, drinking, I guess, was my solution for loneliness. And then I met her, and I realized there's a lot more to this thing, life, than just drinking and friendship. It's relationship. So yeah, we progressed through that, and we were married a year later?
A little over a year. But what he's leaving out is I was divorced, and I had 4 children. And that was his response. 4.
So we moved to Detroit, and wow, that's when things really started to happen then, because now the kids are pulled away from what they were comfortable with, their friends and their family, and now they're becoming part of my profession, my job, my life. I'm still feeling this dad thing out. I don't know what this is supposed to be like. I don't know my responsibilities. So I'm kind of learning what she already knew for years. I'm still learning as we're moving through life together as a family. And anybody out there in the church that knows mixed families, a part of a mixed family, you know exactly what I'm talking about. How far you can go, when you should pull back. And thankfully, Cindy, if I was going to be the dad, I think she just let me have the full responsibility and reins of doing just that. And I still messed up terribly on a lot of things, but that's going to happen.
The kid's dad had died several years previous, so he truly was stepping into that dad role. We never had to do the transferring the kids and the different parents having different opinions. He stepped into that role, and he was dad, and he did a good job. It was a struggle, but we also, along those lines, lost his dad because his dad had cancer and died 6 months after we got married. So we were suddenly hit with a lot of junk.
At the time, again, we didn't go to church. We didn't practice our faith. I had no faith practice anyway. So we just relied on each other for the support. I got everything. All my support came entirely from her. And I don't know if it was like that for her, using me. But we were kind of on an island alone with 3 kids.
No family.
No family, no friends. We developed friends easily, but so we just progressed. And then I knew we needed stability. That was the one thing I realized we needed. So I jumped at the chance to get a job in Louisville. And we do probably the worst mistake I've ever done in my life. We build a house. And it was not a good thing. And I remember I worked night shift at the time. I was getting ready for work. And Cindy walks through the door. Honestly, I'd forgotten she had appointments, but she walks through the door and she says, "I have cancer." And that changes everything. Again, I could become a dad, a father, if you will, and I don't know what to do. And now I'm a husband with a wife who has cancer. I don't know what to do. She went to church. I didn't know that's what I needed. But things happened in God's timing that he just did some things that motivated me to get me in the door. And that's when things really, of course, started to change. And on an Easter day in 2008, I accepted Jesus. I'm not going to say my acceptance was an explosion in the heart like some people have, but it worked for me because it was more gradual. God just took me step by step and introduced me not only to people, but to himself, to his son. And the Holy Spirit just kept building and building, and I didn't even know what was going on. I was still a new Christian, and I didn't know what was going on in my heart.
God stepped in, and grace stepped in and helped us learn a better way to work together.
I fall back on the grace quickly because that's what I need. Conviction will knock you down, but the grace picks you back up. And I need that in my life. The conviction, because it helps me. I just hang on to God's grace. Without that, we would just be having a meeting in a big club here.